Now at 6, a family desperate for answers 4 years after a woman was brutally killed.
I have no closure, no answers.
The details of that crime, very disturbing.
They have arrived on scene and there are human remains on scene on the ground.
Now a new effort by law enforcement hopes to bring her family the closure it needs.
The investigators have, run into a wall when it comes to leads.
Tonight we speak with Bennett Smith's loved ones as the search for a suspect continues. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob Powers. The leads have led nowhere. Now police are desperate to catch a killer. We follow through on a horrific crime tonight, one that remains unsolved and has police now asking for your help, willing to pay for that information with a reward. Tonight, News 5 anchor Tracy Carlos has the story you'll see only here.
Rob, her family is heartbroken, concerned, and scared. In fact, her daughter is so fearful of the killer that is still on the loose that she asked us not to use her name, and we agreed. Memories, pictures, and poetry
We're only here for a little while, so live life for what it's worth.
are all that Bennett Smith's family has left. The 54-year-old was a mother,
My mom was a person with a very, very big heart,
a grandmother,
very generous, funny,
and a sister who was brutally murdered.
What was done to her, the heinous crime that was done to her, nobody deserves that. Nobody.
Early on the morning of February 19, 2020, firefighters were called for a brush fire near the train tracks. They quickly realized it was much more than a fire.
They have arrived on scene and there are human remains on scene on the ground.
Soon, the deadly and disturbing details would emerge.
Her body was located near Claremont and Larchmont Avenue. It had been dismembered and set on fire.
Since then, police have searched for her killer, her family, for answers.
I think about her every day, and if I said I didn't, I'd be lying.
Bennett's daughter was pregnant with her second child when Bennett was murdered.
I think about the what ifs, the who, the why. My mind is always on overdrive thinking about it because I have no closure, no answers.
That's why Crime Stoppers is now offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to the killer.
The investigators have, run into a wall when it comes to leads. They've followed all the leads they could, and now we're putting up the reward because we're hoping to get more information.
Police say Smith was known to frequent the East Cleveland area. Police told me she was last seen in the area of East 22nd and Payne Avenue.
I know my mom would venture off sometimes, and I wouldn't hear from her from like a week or two, but it was like a month, and nobody heard from her. She didn't answer calls for her birthday. She didn't call on my son's birthday, and so that kind of drew like a red flag.
The start of a nightmare that has lasted 4 long years. Now her family is hoping money talks and police catch a killer.
They're dangerous. They are dangerous for a person to do that. It shows that they have evil in them. It's pure evil.
Her mother, she explained to me, was just the opposite.
She was a spiritual person. She believed in God.
In fact, this poem she penned before she died is called Heaven.
In the land of milk and honey, peace and joy, never worry about growing old. And that is written by Bennett R. Smith.
That Crime Stoppers reward is set at $5,000. Crime Stoppers is anonymous. In fact, if you have a tip, they don't even ask for your name. You're given a tip number instead. You can call Crime Stoppers at 216-252-7463, or you can email them at 25crime.com. Live in the newsroom, Tracy Carlos, News 5.
And Tracy, as you said, hopefully money talks.